Yo, what's up? Welcome to the Bom Show. Today, I got a great guest coming on. Hey, you weren't supposed to come in yet, but shit. It's cool. Alright, so Ryan, hey, tell me, why I brought Ryan on is because he came to me and asked for weight loss advice, right?
Yes.
And then, what did I tell you?
Ketogenic diet. He told me about the ketogenic diet, and I didn't know what it was at first. It was like you said high fats, and I was thinking, what the fuck, like high fats? That doesn't make any sense. You eat fat, you're gonna get fat, you know. And then you said moderate proteins and then low carbs, and I looked it up, and that's how I found out. I found out about the diet through you. So
yeah, that was funny because I remember you texting me, "Hey, dude, I ain't lose weight. Can you help me out? What should I eat?" And I remember texting you like a huge paragraph, and then you didn't answer back. So I'm like, right.
Yeah, I'm really bad at texting back.
You're super bad.
For anybody that knows me, I'm really bad at it. So
yeah, I'll text Ryan. He'll answer back like the next day, like nothing went wrong. Like, yo.
Or not even the next day. It'll be the next week.
Yeah,
I'll text you. Yeah. Sorry if I did that to anybody that's watching.
No, but when I first told you about that high fat, what did you first think?
I thought it's very unorthodox, and I kind of thought like I was kind of skeptical of the whole entire thing. You know, like. I just didn't believe it because when we grew up, we were taught that, you know, eating butter and eating like fat and stuff like that it's bad for your arteries, and you're gonna get a heart attack, and you know, we just kind of were taught to stay away from that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of skeptical at first, but the more research I did on it, and I only scratched the surface of keto. I'm using what I know to diet and to lose weight, but I only scratched the surface, right? But yeah, I was pretty skeptical of the whole thing. I didn't believe you.
Yeah, a lot of people who watched the first video with me and Philip, and we were talking about it, they would come and ask me like, "Oh, Brand, what is that diet you're talking about? High fat, low carb? Isn't it? How's that for cardiovascular health? You know?" But then there is, like I said in that other video, it's like a lot of people. You know, if you say something enough times, people are going to start believing it without collecting any evidence and all that. Just because you hear it so many times all over TV, all over movies, ew, fat, it's going to make you fat.
Yeah.
You believe it and you sound it as truth without seeing any evidence, you know? And what's really getting people fat, there's a lot of things, but mainly, you know, when you eat a high fat, low carb diet, it naturally regulates your hormones. So you probably noticed that when you started eating high fat, low carb, you weren't hungry.
Yeah.
You know, you felt full, and then you could eat your last meal and then go out with another meal for, you know, up to whatever hours, 12 hours or something, without feeling hungry.
Yeah.
Now the opposite, if you go low fat, high carb, you know, with any diet you can lose weight, vegan, whatever, you can lose weight. But the benefits of the high fat, low carb would be, you know, you eat up to you're satisfied, and you're not hungry. You're not fighting your willpower. Everything's naturally, your hormones, like all your satiety hormones, you know, ghrelin, PYY, glucagon, leptin, they all naturally regulate, because when you eat fat and protein, you know, your satiety signals, they go, carbs are like down here. You can eat a whole bunch of carbs, and a couple hours later, you're still going to feel hungry.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a huge benefit to high fat. And then all the other benefits too, you know, your brain's made up 60% fat, 25% cholesterol, which is a fat. So it's just, once I started researching it, at first when I heard about it, I was hearing my shoes like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? He's saying saturated fat's good for you? Like, oh, this guy's tripping out. You know, I heard from Gary Taubes on Dr. Oz, oh, this guy's tripping out. Then I started researching it more. I'm like, oh, maybe there's something to it. I started eating. I'm like, damn, this is great. What'd you eat for breakfast?
I ate I think it was.
Because you said you're doing it right now, right?
Yeah, I'm doing keto right now, and I ate cod, right, and then I cooked it in butter. I ate kimchi, which is low in carbs.
Fermented cabbage.
Yeah, fermented cabbage. I ate some like imitation crab. That there was like 4 grams for that one stick, but I mean I'm supposed to stay below, like I think it was like 20 grams.
Yeah.
I try to stay below 10, which is like good enough for me.
I see.
And then I trained a lot as well, so like I try to get in at least a little bit of carbs. And then I ate bamboo, like that's like fermented in oil.
Oh yeah.
Right? So it's like there's a lot.
I never heard.
It's like Vietnamese, like fucking. It's like a Vietnamese side dish.
Oh, okay.
That
It's
you
like.
eat.
Oh okay.
It's in like a jar, but it's like sitting in oil, and I eat that, and so I ate a whole plate, and I got pretty full off of it, but it's because I did Insanity. If you guys know Insanity, the workout, I did Insanity, so I kind of like ate a lot because I don't know, like I just thought, like I gotta feel myself for the next workout, because after this, I did Insanity, and then after this I'm going to Taekwondo, and then after that I'm going to a gymnastics gym to do more stuff, so I'm pretty much running around throughout the whole day, right? So that's why I ate a pretty big meal. I know that I'm not gonna eat for like the next 10 hours. I'm not gonna have time to eat. So the next time I'm gonna eat is probably when I get home after I did everything. But yeah, that's what I ate this morning.
Yeah, and then another thing I really want to make clear of is there's a difference between a high fat, low carb, and then ketogenic. They're both in the same category, but ketogenic is much more extreme. So when you go ketogenic, you're trying to up your fat a lot, like 80% of your calories, and then you're trying to really moderate protein, and then almost no carbs. You could also go a high fat, but a little bit more carbs, and that's just as fine, Where else gonna go with this? Oh yeah, and then the types of fat too. You can't just eat you can't just go Popeyes and, get their type of fats and then expect to be healthy, So let me go in with that real quick. Like certain fats, like saturated fats, they're very stable, and they're very harmless to the body. Saturated fats come from coconuts, even olive oil even has saturated fats, like pasture-raised animals, all great sources of fat, avocado, stuff like that. But if you're talking about vegetable oils, peanut oils, soybean oils, all that crap is highly inflammatory. So you don't want to eat that when you're on high fat, low carb. Another thing, what really struck me about Ryan is like, hey, how much did you gain, and then how much did you lose?
Over the winter of like the early, part of 2015, I was at around 187 pounds. That was
How tall are you?
I'm 5'7", yes.
Yeah, 185.7.
So I was like about 187 pounds. That was my max. That's what I capped at, and I never gained more than that. I remember I never gained more than that, but I lost about 40 pounds. Yeah, almost 40 pounds. I'm like 140. I'm 148 pounds right now. So
it's cool.
I'm like 39 pounds, which is 1 pound away from 40 pounds.
Like if we could edit in like a picture of you, you look pretty big, huh?
Yeah.
I remember I saw the picture. Like
I was pretty. I every time I looked in the mirror, I was like, "Fuck, man! Like I am overweight. Like I'm single. I'm overweight. What the fuck, man? Like I gotta lose weight right now."
What led to that weight gain?
Just work.
Dude, work.
I have a desk job, or my occupation consists of me sitting at a desk and in front of a computer for like hours a day. Like it could be up to like 16 hours, and the max amount of hours that I've sat in front of a computer was up to 37 hours.
Dude, you went
straight.
a whole
Yeah.
You went straight.
Yeah,
Okay,
37
what
hours.
drugs are you on when you did that, dude?
I'm just caffeine.
Caffeine?
Yeah.
Damn.
Straight caffeine. There was like a day where I drank like 4 red lines. In a
Red
day.
line? Damn.
Yeah, red line is like
It gets your heart pounding, huh?
Yeah.
You feel that shit.
it's like 320 grams of caffeine per bottle, and I drank 4 of those. So I exceeded.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I exceeded 1,000.
Is it one serving size like half a bottle?
Yeah. But you know,
Wait,
like,
so you drank 4 bottles in what time period?
I drink in the 37-hour period. I would space it out like maybe like the first 12 hours were easy to do, right? It was like
I heard some
normal
people
day.
went to the hospital because of like red line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody
But yeah,
reacts
everyone's-
different.
Yeah,
you know,
if they're like a tiny person and they drink the whole bottle, some shit could go down.
Yeah. So with me, I'm used to just like busting my ass for this for a company that I work for.
Yeah.
So the first 12 hours were like pretty easy for me, and then I started to get tired. So I took a whole bottle of red line, and then in the next 5 hours, I was like kind of like just tired, you know, like. So I drank another one, and then it was like 5 hours after that. So, and in that time, in that 37 hours, the company that I work for had food out, like, and it's like straight carbs, you know,
Yeah.
like sugary. And
Anytime you go anywhere now and then people bring out food, it's always like bagel, croissant, cookies and shit. It's
Yeah.
Because those are shelf stable. They stay out and you preserve it.
Yeah.
But you eating fresh food and stuff, it's not really like that.
Yeah, exactly. So they have like Rice Krispies, and the cafeteria just has a bunch of food, but it's not like ketogenic food or anything. So I'm like just eating because I need energy, and then the caffeine can only help so much, and then I'm hungry as well. So I just eat, and then I just gain weight like
Oh, totally.
you know.
Dude, let's get into the whole work story. Because I remember Ryan sent me one snap one time of his paycheck, and it was like, how much was it? Your paycheck? It was like 4,000, and then you work for how many weeks?
It was like a 2-week time span.
Yeah, 2 week. And how much was it? How much would you usually make in 2 weeks at your job?
It depends on what company. Like every single company that I worked for, I got paid a different amount. Like at my first company, Entropic Communications, I was getting paid $40 an hour, and then I went to Solarflare.
Okay.
Solarflare paid me $30 an hour, and then I went to Huawei. I don't know if you guys know Huawei. It's the Chinese company it's a pretty big company. They paid me $70 an hour.
Damn, $70 an hour.
So you're looking at the rates, and it varies.
Oh, totally, yeah.
So at Entropic Communications, I would say I was putting in like 80 hours a week.
Damn, 80 hours a week?
Yeah, like
Fuck.
every company that I came into, I was basically helping them finish a project, right? So when we're finishing a project, it's like
That's
hours,
where like deadlines
hours.
are coming. You gotta keep on working.
And if this company,
It's Chinese New Year, so fireworks are going off and all that.
Chúc mừng năm mới, just so the company, like every company that I came to, I was basically finishing the project for them. It was never at the point where I was starting the project with them. It was always just finishing. So if they missed the deadline, I think the average rate to miss a deadline was like $200,000 that the company loses, right? So everybody in the engineering or research and development department is busting their ass. So I was putting at my max like 80 hours a week.
Damn.
So 80 hours times 40,
That's
it was a lot of money,
okay. Well, what was your biggest paycheck that you got at one time?
I don't remember.
Or maybe what's the
Exactly.
usual? I remember it was seeing either 4,000 or 8,000 for 2 weeks.
Because the thing is, I was getting overtime at Entropic. I was getting overtime at Solarflare. And then at Huawei, I wasn't getting overtime either because it was like a flat rate that they were paying me. So and at Entropic, I think my max paycheck was like $7,000.
7 for a week or
Yeah, for 1 week.
for 1 week.
But
Okay.
this is a gross. This is not net.
Alright.
So,
So you're saying like before taxes or something?
yeah, before tax.
Yeah. All right. So the backstory of all this is Ryan. He went to college first, right?
Yeah,
He
I
went to go to West, and then you went to a trade school.
Yes, I went to a trade school in San Jose.
Yeah, San Jose. Well, we can get to that. He goes to San Jose, goes to trade school, and then right away when you're done with that, you start working for a company,
Yes.
and then you just start making you start making a lot of money relative to how all your friends make.
Yeah.
Right? And essentially that's when you're not around, everyone just we're talking, hey, how's Ryan doing? It's like, oh, he's just making money, bro. He's fucking getting paid. Seriously, that's what, because relative to them, you were getting paid a lot, right? And then everyone's like, oh man, he's got an apartment, he got a car, like, oh, he's chilling, he's good. But we talked about your quality of life when you're working 8 hours a week. Explain that. Okay, so you're getting money, and then but you're working a lot. And how are you feeling through that?
I was miserable. That was, to be honest, like I was like just feeling tired all the time. You know, like just I remember waking up in my car because or waking up under my desk, at work, and then just waking up and then having to get back to work, and something like that wasn't normal. Like I remember I was in an office that was like open, where there was like 40 other workers as well, or 40 other employees, and they saw that I was sleeping under my desk, and they were like, oh, okay, we're gonna let him sleep.
Damn.
And then when I woke up, it was time to go back to work.
Man, you slept at work.
Yeah, and they knew that I stayed the whole entire night, and so they're just like, oh, let him sleep. And then when I woke up, it's like, oh, you stayed overnight? Yeah. Like I've been here all night. Like, so I don't know. I'm not gonna say that I was miserable mainly because of work. Like maybe that did play a part in the quality of my life. But then there was also one person that was like very. I guess I had a very abusive coworker. That was my friend as well. We became roommates at one point, and I was basically, like this is kind of weird to say, but I was in an abusive relationship with one of my friends. Like it's weird for a guy to say that, but it's true. Like
how so?
Like there was actually one point where like he threatened to quote unquote break me, or he'll verbally abuse me in front of my coworkers, and they're like, holy shit, like
wow.
They'll text me like, are you okay? And I'm like, it's okay, boss, like I just feel uncomfortable about the situation, but like we talked it out, and he'll put me on blast in front of my coworkers, and it's like, the fuck, dude, like we're at work, you have to be professional.
Right.
So and like the hours and this guy in conjunction made everything miserable. But I guess like in the beginning of this career, everything was exciting. Like I'm learning new things, I'm building new circuits, and then later on when this guy came into this work field, things kind of just went downhill from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of being well rested, I was not well rested, so I was miserable. And if you guys don't know me,
it could go back to health too. It's all that. It's all gaining weight, not getting enough sleep. Like, dude, you. No wonder you're depressed. Yeah. You're not eating good foods and all that.
Yeah, and when I'm eating, I'm just eating just to eat. Because I need to eat so that I can feel like, I guess, comfortable while I'm working.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I was miserable. In the beginning, I was pretty happy. I was getting paid, and everything's kind of new. It's fresh. Yeah. But as time went on, I got miserable, and
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about too. A lot of people see just the money, and they're like, "Oh man, you're set, you're good," but really, it's like it's a concept called absolute wealth and relative wealth. Let's say, for example, working 80 hours a week for your life or something, and you're making whatever $1 million. Okay, that's just an example. You're working 80 hour weeks, but you're making $1 million, right? You have a lot of absolute wealth. But compared to the guy who's making 5,000 a month, working 4 hours a week, just an example. I would say the other guy has a lot more relative wealth. He's working a lot less hours. He has more money per hour. Mm-hmm. It's just time and money, man. Like trading time for money. It's like, dude, time is the most precious thing we have, man.
Yeah, it is.
Time is the most precious thing we have, and we have all this money, but you have no time to enjoy it. Then, shit, yeah, you become miserable.
Yeah,
that's my experience too. When I was working at a job where I made the most money that I did, but yeah, dude, bust it out, bro. We got vapor in the house. What flavor is that?
It's strawberry kiwi.
It's just smells bomb, dude.
It's pretty Gucci. I like it. I needed to get in a little bit just now, so.
Another really unique thing about you is, out of nowhere, I remember you just started doing backflips everywhere. I think when it started in high school, right?
Yeah,
in high school. This nigga started doing backflips, and everyone was like, "Oh shit, Ryan, backflips!" And I remember one time where you ate shit during the track meet.
It was
how'd that go down?
I got super cocky because I was able to do a backflip, and I face planted.
Face, dude.
Yeah, I scorpioned right in front of the whole discus and shot and discus team, and everybody was just laughing at me, and I'm just like, oh. and the thing is, it was turf. So there was like tires in the turf, tire, shreddings in the turf. So it was in my eyes and my face is all scratched up, and people were just laughing at me, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude, I'm never doing a backflip again. So
how would someone go about trying to learn how to do a backflip? Because I remember you said anyone can do a backflip, mm-hmm. right? So explain that. Why could anyone do a backflip, and how would they do it?
I say anybody can do a backflip because I don't know. What I feel like is it just takes guts, a lot of guts, right? You're going backwards. This is a motion that is completely unknown to pretty much everybody that isn't like in the gymnastics or martial arts tricking scene. So I don't know. I just say it's guts, and then another thing also is technique. Right, you need to set well, set well upwards, and then you start leaning back at the peak of your height when you jump.
And would you be able to do one right now?
Actually, no, I wouldn't because
that's on camera.
No, and mainly because I did have a few drinks before this because I am camera shy, so I had to drink a little bit to start filming this.
But how is it? It's really low anxiety. We're just talking.
Yeah, right? It's pretty chill. But,
yeah, it's chill.
But still, like I know that when I do my own like YouTube video and stuff, I'm like recording, and then when I don't get the right shot, I'm like, fuck, damn it, I gotta record again. And then when someone comes home because I live with 2 other roommates, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta be quiet now. So I'm very camera shy. Like people don't realize that when they're watching my videos, but I'm really camera shy.
Hey, props for coming up then, dude.
Yeah,
that's cool, man.
Thanks for having me on this show.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go back to the backflip. You said.
So at the peak of when you set or when you jump up, that's when you start leaning back. People make the mistake of leaning back before they even jump. So they get no height, and then that's why they like either face plant or they hit their head or whatever. So it takes a lot of control, like to basically do that and then still look ahead while you're at your peak and then start leaning back. I still can't do that right now.
Oh yeah.
When I do a backflip, it's like because of muscle memory. That's why I when I land my backflips, I'm like like right here. You know,
I see.
like when you're landing your backflip, you're supposed to be like right here, right here.
Mm.
You know, so mine's very unorthodox, but I can do it. So, whatever.
Dude, when I tried at the beach, I was there with my buddy Kevin. I'm at the beach. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do backflip. I'm gonna do because it's a sand. I'm gonna do backflip. I'm gonna do backflip. So I'm literally standing there, about to do it for. I'm just standing there for like 10 minutes, psyching myself out.
Dude, I fucking still do that right now.
You totally psych yourself like, I'm gonna do it. Ah, dude.
One-
Wait, no, hold on.
1, 2, fuck. Okay. 1, 2, 3. No, fuck.
Right? Yeah. So I finally tried to do it, but I couldn't commit. So I jumped up and I landed straight on my ass. And I hit like a hard kind of surface. I'm like, fuck, dude. And Kevin's looking at me like, dude.
Kevin
Nee.
Kevin Nee. Oh shit, Kevin Nee. Okay. Damn, dude.
Yeah, totally, dude. Alright, man. Is there anything else you want to say?
That's pretty much when it comes to the backflip. Just you gotta learn how to set right, and then have that, I guess, that control to where you start leaning back at the peak of your jump, not in the beginning, because you need the height. You really need the height before you're able. Unless you have muscle memory, then you can do it. Like on command.
Right.
But for people for the people that are trying to do the backflip in the very beginning stage, you need to know how to set. The leaning back comes later. That's something that you'll feel later, right? And it's good to practice on like a ledge, like this is way too high, but like something like up to like here, and then you just jump up, and then you lean back on top of a ledge that's this high.
Oh yeah.
Right, and then that motion comes to you naturally when you're trying to do the backflip.
I see.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
All
and
right,
then
cool.
the guts as well.
I mean, I think that might be the biggest part, dude.
Yeah,
Just having the balls to do it.
Yeah.
You said that's over half of the backflip. Just having balls and committing and doing it.
Yeah, like I'm gonna say for me, it's majority guts, and then the whole set and stuff like that. That's the orthodox way to go at it, to set up correctly, and then to have the guts later on. But me I just had the guts to do things.
Okay.
So, but yeah.
All right, dude. We're near the end of the show. I'm about to ask you some rapid fire questions or something like that. What I ask people in the beginning? Okay. If you were to go back and tell your 16-year-old self, that's what, 7 years ago, 16-year-old self, some advice, your top advice, what would you tell them?
That advice would be,
I guess, just pertaining to your life too.
I guess, to just kind of take it slow, like to just kind of slow down, because when we're 16 years old, we're so eager to like drive or to go to college or to just grow up, and that goes back to like when we were even younger than that. We're like, oh, I want to grow up, I want to be an adult, kind of thing. And for me, I would just say to slow down. I think it was in a Ferris Bueller's Day Off. There was a movie called that, and there was one quote. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's like, if you don't take the time to look around every once in a while, you might just miss it.
Yeah.
Right? And for me, I mean, this goes back to like my whole work thing. Like, I have some regrets when it comes to, like taking it too fast. I went to the trade school and I started working and, and kind of like providing for myself. But in the year of 2013, I lost two of my grandparents. Right? And one of them I didn't even get to see for years, and I cared a lot about her. She went to Vietnam, and I heard that she passed away, and I'm just like, fuck. That sucks.
Yeah, you wish you had last words.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what I do when I kind of interact with my mom. sometimes you get in a bad mood and you say shit. No, I mean not directly at her, but I'm saying like you get in like a bad mood and then you just kind of you treat them in a way that you wouldn't. Then I just think to myself, oh shit, what would I do if I knew she was gonna die in a few days or weeks?
Yeah.
So you always want to leave every interaction with like a good note. That's why I put that to mind. Like, man, if this person died, I always want to leave everything with a good note. Like just saying, oh man, I love you, something like that. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely. Like I kind of try to live my life like that nowadays, especially because of the two events that happened. My grandpa, when I saw him, he was sedated, before he passed away. So like I didn't even get to say anything to him. Like he was basically strung out on whatever drug that they were giving him. So and then he passed away, and I'm just like, fuck, dude. Like I didn't get to do anything with these two people because like I was basically working my ass off the whole time.
Dang.
Like we live in a society where everything is pretty fast paced. Like you gotta like do shit every day. You gotta work and
right.
provide and.
It feels like that pressure. Like when people ask you, "Oh, what you been up to?" You feel like, "Oh, I need to say something like productive." Like, so we were like, "Oh, school, work, and all that," but I don't know. I don't know.
There's a lot of pressure to fucking do stuff like that.
It goes back to like, for me at least, like the spiritual thing where just like being in the moment. When you're saying slow down, basically that means fucking appreciate what you got right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just slow down. Like you don't have to. Yes, definitely go for more, bigger, but you don't have to like desire it so much that it feels so separated from you.
Yeah.
You want to get to the point where. Shit, I already am successful, and I just need to build on that.
Yeah.
All right, next question. When you think about success, who's the first person that comes to mind, and why?
Success. When I think of success, I can't like. Do you have to say like a name?
Yeah, dude, you go say your name or just a certain people, whatever first comes to mind, like. Oh, I'd be like, oh man, this person's successful. Whatever. Oh, I really like this person. Whatever they do.
I don't know. When I think of like successful, I think of just anybody that enjoys doing what they do. Like.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, I can't think of any names right now, but I mean, if you enjoy what I enjoy what I do, but in conjunction with the hours, I don't like it.
Right, right, right.
So I don't know, someone like
But yeah, it is that balance between like successful. You gotta be successful inner, and it has to reflect your outside world also.
Yeah. Like you're still like financially like stable.
Yeah.
At the same time.
But then again, there's people who made no money.
Oh yeah.
Like Gandhi and Mother Teresa. Everyone said, "Oh man, they're super successful."
Yeah.
And so it definitely goes beyond money.
Yeah, it definitely goes beyond money because when I think of some successful some successful people like that I know, I can think of like there's one guy that is financially he's not successful, but he fucking loves what he does, right? And mentally, I think he's successful because he's detached from everybody. Society's like, oh, you need to make money and you need to do this and that. He's detached from that. His name is Andy Lee from Marshall Club.
Lee? Okay.
Right. That guy, he has like the spirit of like someone who is very hungry to become like a kung fu master, but at the same time he's not like financially like rich, and I still think he's someone that is successful.
I see. Man, personally, I definitely strive for getting more money, and like it's gonna happen, bro. As we get over, it's just gonna happen. I'm gonna make a lot of money. That's just I know that's coming, bro. It is, dude. It just the path you take in, you know inside, like, hey, that's just it's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
So, but what I don't like is how I'm so, you know, you feel like you're trying to reach so much. You're trying to reach so hard. But then, yeah, it's that inner too. Yeah, you gotta have that inner. For sure, man. All right.
Like,
yeah, what's up?
Sorry. I just want to say, like, you know, in these past, what, 2.5 years, you know, my first year I was making like a little bit less than 6 figures, and then the next 2 years I've been hitting 6 figures, and then another 6 figures a year after that.
Yeah, you're making 6 figures?
Yeah.
Damn.
But I'm gonna say,
dude,
right
I didn't
now,
know that. Tight. Dude.
I'm gonna say right now, like, on the inside, like, I don't feel rich at all. Like, not that I'm striving for more. Like, I'm pretty content with the amount of money that I make. But I'm talking about, like, quality of life. Like I said, I have regrets, and you know, like, one of my relationships fell apart. You know, like with me and one of my exes because I was working so much. You know, like it became a problem to where she was like saying, you know, like you're working too many hours, and I don't know, I'm gonna admit right now, like the amount of money that I make versus my quality of life, I can't say that I'm rich.
Yeah.
You know, or I can't say
that's a cool insight, definitely. You know.
Yeah.
That's definitely a cool insight because, like, yeah, going back to the thing, I was gonna say what else.
Money doesn't make you happy. You know, like it makes life better, but it does not make you happy. That's not necessarily the case.
Yeah, it's not that money makes you happy, but it's more about not having money makes you unhappy.
Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah, another thing. Fuck, I keep on forgetting, dude. Oh, I was gonna go back to. All right. Oh, the ultimate currency is happiness. You know, that really is the ultimate currency. So it doesn't matter how much money you have. It's all about happiness. I was trying to find a book on happiness, but yeah, that's the ultimate, like, energy for life.
Yeah.
For sure, man.
So I don't know. I coming from someone that has been there. I mean, a lot of people tell me like, "Oh, money doesn't bring you happiness," but all the motherfuckers that tell me that are fucking broke as shit.
Broke.
So you don't fucking tell me that shit. I'm the one person that can tell people that shit.
Yeah, they say that to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
You know, they do say it to make themselves feel better, like because they don't have money. Oh, money don't make you happy. Fuck, it brings you freedom. It brings you convenience.
Yeah.
It brings you experiences. So, like, yeah, man. Of course, not the end all be all, but yeah, dude, for sure. All right, last question. What would you want people to say at your funeral?
I actually think about this all the time because honestly, like after working so many hours and shit like that for the past 2.5 years, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with me. Like I've had problems, you know, like pointing to like intestinal bleeding. I don't get that checked out, you know, like or I'm getting like I guess like forehead dents and like different.
Wait,
you know,
when did you get that intestinal bleeding?
I had that 2015.
Were you climbing up, getting fatter or something? Were you gaining weight that time? What were you eating? Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
I was so just. I don't remember. Like everything was such a blur because I was working so much.
Oh yeah.
You know, like
yeah, the stress of the work could have been.
Yeah, the stress of the work and
diet definitely.
And I remember when I had to go, it was like painful, and I don't know what the hell is wrong with me. So I think about all the time, like you know, like if I pass away at any moment right now, like what would I hope for people to say at my funeral?
Yeah.
Just you know, he's like one of the best people I know. You know, like one of the nicest people that I know, and you know, like he's very caring and. Like I try to be there for everybody, even regardless of the fact that I work a shitload of hours. And a lot of people that know me know that I like I'm very giving. You know, like I'm just like, oh fuck, you know, you need help for this, you know, I got the money to do, because I have the
Alright,
funds.
just people's gonna be calling you after this shit. People are calling you.
I'm unemployed right now, so don't fucking ask me. I'm taking a break from work because I worked so much. I need to take a break, you know. So, but I just hope that at my funeral, people are saying to, you know, everybody else, like, you know, he's one of the nicest people that I know, and he's helped me a lot. Everybody that I come across, I try to help, you know, because I have the funds to now, and I think in my mindset, it's like, well, if I can help someone, then I'll help them. You know, like if people ask me for a loan or like, you know, to help them pay off something, then I'll help them out. And I usually never ask for anything back. I try not to because, you know, like I know what it's like, you know, for people to not pay me back. So, I just, yeah, that's all I hope for. The nicest guy, very caring, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hey, dude, so far you're living up to that, bro. All right. Hey, Ryan, thank you for coming on. Hope you enjoyed it. All right,
Yeah,
hope everyone enjoyed it. All right, peace out.
Fuck, that was that